Welcome to Airborne for Friday from AirVenture 2017 at Whitman Regional Airport. I'm Christopher C. Odom. On our program today, we sit down with the Secretary of the Air Force. Pipistrel brings its electric trainer to AirVenture for the first time. And the Young Eagles recruit a superhero of sorts. Those stories and more coming up on this AirVenture 2017 edition of Airborne Unlimited. As part of Women in Aviation Day, Secretary of the Air Force, Heather Wilson, was at AirVenture on Wednesday. And ANN's Maxine Scheer had a chance to sit down with her to get her opinion on ATC privatization.
You own a Cessna 152.
That's right.
And you are an aviator. And it sounds like you really love aviation.
I do.
And the people here at AirVenture are very concerned, people in general aviation are very concerned about the proposal to privatize the air traffic control system. And so as a former member of Congress and now in a leadership position over the Air Force, what do you think of this?
Well, there are some requirements that we have as the Air Force that we're working with the sponsors of the legislation on to be able. We have to continue to be able to defend the airspace of the United States. That's one of our roles. We also, as the Air Force, in time of crisis, the air traffic control system is actually then run by the Air Force. If there's a national emergency, we need to make sure that's taken care of, and we need access to airspace to train low-level routes, those kinds of things. So we have a lot of interests involved in this, and we have a team that's working in Washington on that legislation to make sure that that if and when there is some form of privatization, that the Air Force can still conduct its missions to defend the country. We actually do operate a lot of towers, a lot of approach systems are actually operated by the military, so we have to be very actively involved and engaged on this issue.
AirVenture is one of the industry's main venues for introducing new products for experimental aircraft. ANN's Jim Campbell talked with Matt Liknaitzky from MGL Avionics about their latest avionics offerings.
For Oshkosh this year, the new products we have are all a bit smaller, and they include our Razor touchscreen mini EFIS / controller. And our Razor is a touchscreen mini controller that fits in a 3 1/8" hole, round hole. It's a kind of portrait-style touchscreen display. It can be used to control a radio, a nav radio, a transponder, and it can be used to display ADS-B traffic. And we also will have multiple models available that could be mini EFISes. There's multiple functions that we can apply for this framework. And we plan to have many of them available by the end of this year, and also units that can expand on EFIS functionality like autopilot control, a dedicated autopilot controller. And hand in hand with this Razor control system, we have a new remote radio, a VHF transceiver called the V16, which is a more than 10-watt radio transceiver remote box that is controllable from the EFIS and also from the Razor controller. And we also have a nav receiver, so you can have VOR, ILS, glide slope in the cockpit for a very affordable price. So those are some of the remote products that are going to be paired with the Razor control head from MGL Avionics that's new this year.
EAA's main outreach to bring young people into the aviation community is the Young Eagles program, which offers free orientation flights to kids who are interested in learning to fly. At AirVenture 2017, they announced a huge new partnership that will help Young Eagles reach an ever broader audience.
And this is a great day for EAA and the Stan Lee Foundation. And we're here this morning to announce an alliance between the Stan Lee Foundation and EAA to promote our Young Eagles program and to take it really to a whole new level. We will be working with Stan Lee's Foundation to develop aviation-related programs and content that will point young people to fly and get involved in all aspects of aviation. We're taking this content directly to the new Young Eagles Nest that will be part of the Stan Lee Literacy Centers all over the world. As you all know, Stan's the creator of Marvel Comics, And you can see from the excitement and number of people here that he has something very special tonight that he's brought, that he's going to present to EA. And it's a new superhero that he brought right from Superhero Headquarters, who's been assigned specifically to assist EA's Young Eagles programs. So ladies and gentlemen, let me, with distinct honor, present and welcome to AirVenture, our patriarch of superheroes, the great Stan Lee.
But thank you very much, and thank you for the kind words. And who the hell are you? Tell the people your name.
Hi everybody, I'm Avior.
Tell me what they do, what you do.
I'm here to help promote the spirit of aviation here with the EAA and the Young Eagles program and keep everyone going and help the aviation community.
We found this guy flying around without a plane, and we figured he'd make a good hero.
What I'm excited about is that we're going to get kids through your foundation interested into aviation through some of the reading materials and the comics and other things that the foundation is so good at promoting.
It's very important that we get young people more interested in aviation. One of the problems is it doesn't seem as exciting or glamorous to them today because it's all jet planes. And they have a notion that a pilot gets in the cockpit, sits down, presses a button, and goes to sleep while the plane does the work. And we've got to find a way to let the young people know that there's something very heroic and very glamorous about flying a jet plane. And it's not as easy as it looks. And it's very important. And the lives of many people are at stake. And we've got to come up with the right stories and the right images. And we've got to really excite young people about aviation and about what's happening in the sky today. And that's one of the things that I hope we can help with. Excelsior!
After the break, AirVenture. What's next?
Trig's TT31 Mode S transponder is the class-leading retrofit to the KT76A or KT78A. Easier and faster to install. You can now integrate with GNS or GTN WAS navigators and use our free ADS-B STC list covering 650 aircraft types. ADS-B just got easy.
Takeoff is the daily companion app for pilots, packed with information to help you fly safely and have fun. We add 2 new posts every day of the year, including video tips, thought-provoking articles, and interactive quizzes. Visit sporties.com/takeoff.
We started with a 14-inch longer fuselage, high-end interior finishes, Garmin G3000 flight deck, and a 4th window to give additional natural light to the cabin. We then redesigned the wings and horizontal tail, increasing the wingspan by a full 4 feet. Welcome to the jet life.
Welcome back to Airborne, coming to you this week from EAA AirVenture 2017 at Oshkosh, Wisconsin. If you've seen something around Oshkosh that's really cool, let us know with the hashtag OSH17cool on your social media posts. AirVenture is almost over, but don't worry, there's plenty more aviation events still to come this year. A&N's Jim Campbell talked with Jana Filip about the DeLand Sport Aviation Showcase that will be taking place in November 2nd through the 4th in DeLand, Florida.
The 2nd annual showcase will take place this November. It'll be again on the first weekend of November, Thursday, Friday, Saturday pattern, 3-day show, and this year that is November 2 through 4. First of all, I just want to state that we are dedicated to sport aviation, and that includes everything sport, recreational, flying for fun, and that will always be stable. That's what our mission and our goals are wrapped around. As far as what we'll be doing during the day, the agenda will remain the same. The daily agenda will remain the same, with showcase flights at 12 noon showcasing each aircraft, in addition to the demo flights that will take place all day, every day. And we'll have contests, giveaways, as well as the folks getting up and giving product demonstrations throughout the day. We've added an educational component to the show. We've got about 12 outdoor booths dedicated to the education sector, with Embry-Riddle being the anchor for that area. EAA is bringing their composite and sheet metal workshops to us that will be out on the field. We're trying to be as interactive as possible this year. We've got tools and parts being added to our show, and some other live demonstrations will take place as well.
And finally, how can people get more information and prepare to come on out this November?
Awesome. Our website is www.sportaviationshowcase.com. Pretty much it's interactive, and we hope that you can learn what you need to and sign up for what you would like to from there. Everything from online admissions, if you need to reserve a scoot around. Underwing camping is something new that will be hosted by Recreational Aviation Foundation. Those sign-ups will be online. We just want you to take care of as much as possible early, so that when you get there and walk through the gate, you're ready to go.
Electric aviation is a hot topic around aviation, and AirVenture is no exception. Pipistrel had their Alpha Electro electric trainer, Aircraft to AirVenture, and A&N's Jim Campbell talked to Rand Vollmer to get details about the airplane.
Electric is not yet used in flight training, but we're about to change that. We've got 6 aircraft sold in California already. 2 here that Lee and his company are going to be using in Los Angeles area. We will continue to develop this. There are limitations to electric, but there's also tremendous advantages to it, and we think we've got one that's actually going to really work. Climb is going to be right at about over 1,000 feet a minute, and the pattern speeds are 70 knots. That will give you about an hour's endurance. We actually recapture some of that energy in the descent. And so it's really designed for pattern work right now. As battery technology improves, we expect it to be available for cross-country flights as well. The base price is about $136,000, but that includes your fuel for the first 500 cycles, so 500 hours. Availability, the factory is in production now. We've opened a new factory in northern Italy, which provides a lot of space and an ability to do the development quickly. As orders increase, we'll be able to have more coming in. Delivery is about 5 to 6 months from order to delivery.
A&N has had the good fortune most of the time to work with a number of photographers, some good, some not worth the trouble, and just a few that really impressed us. For the last few years, we've been truly impressed to work with the Photo-Geek extraordinaire, Eric Van Gilder, who not only has an eye for what looks good on the camera, but the passion to capture the shot no matter what. Here's a sampling of just how good Oshkosh looks through the lens of a master photographer. After these messages, the final segment of our exclusive interview with EAA Chairman Jack Pelton. You're watching Airborne Unlimited on Aero-TV.
Alpha Systems AOA products are available for experimental, pressurized, and certified aircraft. President Mark Corrin notes that there is nothing more rewarding than designing a product that helps save someone's life. To see how Alpha Systems AOA technology can make you a safer pilot, check out www.alphasystemsaoa.com.
Progressive Aerodyne's Sea Ray Adventure offers Rotax 912 power, a basic instrument panel, and radios. Fly it away for under $120,000. Visit searay.com for more details.
The Bristol Light Sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristol is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin Avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristol.com to find out how you can get into a Bristol today.
Build and fly with the most exciting line of kit aircraft on the market, the Sonex Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great Sonex Aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonexaircraft.com.
Welcome back to Airborne Unlimited on Aero-TV, coming to you this week from AirVenture 2017 and Oshkosh, Wisconsin. In the final segment of Jim Campbell's exclusive with EAA Chairman Jack Pelton, the two discuss the health of the organization and diversity in the industry.
The overall state and health of the EAA, how you doing? Let's take the temperature.
I couldn't feel better, and it's been just a nice, steady. While we are increasing in membership, I don't usually try to use that as the only barometer. It's really
doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, but also are the chapters strong? Are people engaged? Are they getting involved? And I'm seeing much better involvement and engagement, which kind of is a good underpinning as to health as opposed to a sheer number. Our numbers were continuing to climb over 200,000. We hit that milestone over a year ago where I think we're up to about 210,000 members and just incrementally growing. And the difficulty of that is because, as you know, with our demographics and aviation in general, is you're losing on the back end an awful lot of people that are aging out. Kind of was prepping for our memorial wall ceremony on Sunday where we're those who have gone west, and that number keeps getting bigger every year with a lot of prominent people that we all know. So I feel really good, and I think we're so focused on putting programs in place that will keep people engaged in aviation that I better hit.
Yeah.
Feels good. Feels real good.
How are things on the diversity angle? I have watched Oshkosh over the last couple of years become more family, more black, more Hispanic, more female, and that's great, but not nearly in the numbers that will drive a future, because diversity, to somebody coming into this community and seeing the world's greatest collection of old white guys, it can be discerning if you're not one of the old white guys. And
it can be, and you can never do enough on that. And diversity is far more than just race. It's that whole diversity of thought and how do you get people wanting to be a part of the community.
Families, that's the thing I've noticed.
Yeah, a lot more families, because I think there's a lot more activity for younger people than there has been in the past. Kid venture has grown like we have never seen. I had the experience of taking at the time he was 9, through last year, all of the stations, and what an impactful but easy, not a lot of work to do on him. And I think, gosh, we can get the kids. As far as big focus on women venture on Wednesday, and trying to make sure that we're really promoting the opportunities in aviation for women. We have a lineup of, we have the Secretary of the Air Force coming, who is an EA member. She's a woman. She was the only Air Force Secretary that ever graduated from the Air Force Academy. There's some great examples of people out there that can help show and lead and develop pathways. But we do have to get out of our own way, like you said. The outward image or picture is already can be something that would cause people to take pause, saying, is that a group that recognizes and embraces diversity?
Last question. For the guy who knows EAA best from the inside, and the fellow who gets to take the blame for everything, and God knows we've laid a bunch of that on you at times, I would like you to address the camera and talk to Jane Q Aviator or Joe Q Aviator, whoever's coming in for their first Oshkosh. How do you come into an event like this when you haven't been here before and get the most out of it?
That's a great segue into what we've tried to do to help with that. Is we have a welcome center right when you come through Celebration Way, and it's right in the center of the main activity. And in that center, it shows you all of the various, what we call nodes around the event. It tells you about the home-built area, it tells you about the warbird area, it tells you about the forums. And you can go in there and start developing your what is my plan of attack going to be to see and hit all of the various things that are occurring on site? And it helps you from just wandering and saying, gosh, I didn't know there was an ultralight field. We're using that as kind of our indoctrination for the newbie that comes on site. So we hope that that helps a lot. Personally, and though this probably sounds like a shameless marketing pitch, if you're here all week, you might get it done. If not, plan on coming back year over year, because it's overwhelming as far as all of the activities and all the things that you want to. I could spend a full week here just going to forums, because that would be of high interest to me to hear all the various
and
forums.
get a lot out of it.
Get a lot out of it, and never had a chance time-wise to see anything else. So,
yeah.
You know, be patient. Go kind of get a plan of attack of where you want to go, and then just embrace the moment and be flexible, because something will pop up where you'll say, "Wow, I just heard that." You know, they're doing a Warbirds in Review with Dick Cole, and I'm going to scrap going to the forum to make sure I go to that historical event.
Well, that's our program for today. As we wrap up the week from AirVenture, we'll be taking a couple of days off to get home from Wisconsin and get some much-needed rest. Keep flying. We'll see you again Wednesday, August 2nd.